welcome to the Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast Thursday edition. It is September 9th, 2021, one night removed from AEW Dynamite. I am your host, Nerdy D, aka the heavyweight video game champion of the world. And joining me tonight is my valet to the ring, Level Up Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
Each and every week, I give my hot takes on the world of wrestling. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to one of our social media channels, TikTok at I Am Nerdy D, YouTube at I Am Nerdy D, or on all major podcast networks. Just search the Nerdy D Podcast. I want to start off the show by saying thoughts and prayers go out to Triple H after his recent cardiac event. Love him or hate him, love or hate the WWE. I never want bad things to happen to people. So thoughts and prayers to Triple H and his family and the whole WWE family. Hopefully it wasn't a major procedure he had done and he'll be back up and running in no time. Also want to give a special shout out to a fellow TikToker at Heel Josh. Heard that he made Twitch partner. That's a big deal.
Yes, sir.
This guy, Heel Josh, this is kind of... So I found him about 2 months ago. Found him on the TikTok. And I saw the passion that he had for pro wrestling, and he kind of got me excited. And so I'd say he's a little bit of the spark that lit the fire that got me fired up to get back into this.
Yeah.
So shout out to Heel Josh making Twitch partner. That's a big deal. He live streams every wrestling event known to man, I think.
Yeah.
Everyone. He's there day, night. He is up there giving his reactions, showing passion, showing love for it. Mad respect for that. If you're not watching his live reacts on Twitch, make sure to go do that, because I'm not going to do that kind of shit. I'm not going to. That is a lot of time and a lot of effort, and that man is dedicated to the craft. So shout out to at Heel Josh. Congratulations on making Twitch partner, and thank you for making me excited about wrestling again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now let's get out of that stuff here. I have a special announcement to start out with today.
Yes, you do.
I feel different. I feel better. I feel good. Okay.
Okay.
I want to go on and announce here live on my podcast here. I am officially 4 days sober and counting on my Monday Night Raw detox. As you can see the shirt.
I do.
The Monday Night Raw. So I'm 4 days sober. I've gone 4 days. I haven't read about Monday Night Raw. I haven't watched clips from Monday Night Raw. If they pop up in TikTok, I swipe right through. If they pop up on YouTube, I swipe right through, right? And it's funny because I went outside yesterday. And the air outside, it smelled fresher. Okay? I got a glass of water. It just tasted colder and crisper. Okay?
Right.
I was outside walking and the sun just looked brighter, right? So I want to assure everybody, because I see all you in the comments. There's some of you that have already taken that journey, and you need to reach out and help your fellow wrestling fan and let them know it is okay to not watch Monday Night Raw because of what a garbage fire Monday Night Raw is. It's terrible. We got to quit beating around the bush. Monday Night Raw is the worst thing in wrestling right now.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go at least a month before I begin to open up some Raw reports and read what's going on and just see if I'm going to relapse back into it. If not, I will just continue my detox. I actually, in doing this, I actually opened up the TV guide because I have a free 3 hours now on Monday night.
A TV guide?
I have 3 free hours on Monday nights. And I said, I'm going to find something better to watch.
Okay.
So I put together a suggestion of 5 shows that come on Monday night that are better to watch than Monday Night Raw. Okay.
All right, hit me.
Number 1 is Monday Night Football. That goes without saying. If you are any sort of football fan, this is by far the premier show you should be watching. Fuck Monday Night Raw, okay? Number 2, apparently this is the time slot American Ninja Warrior comes on.
Ooh.
If you're just really into seeing sweaty guys jump around and do flips and stuff, this is probably the better option at this point, okay? It's probably more exciting. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3, Hell's Kitchen.
Ooh.
We will get more personality out of Gordon Ramsay
I love that show.
than we will out of Bobby Lashley. Okay. So Gordon Ramsay, Bobby Lashley, I'm going to Hell's Kitchen every Monday night.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I found that there are reruns of Crocodile Dundee on Monday nights.
Oh,
that is more
crikey.
fucking exciting than watching Monday Night Raw. And you know what else is on? Because
No.
it's always on?
No.
Impractical Jokers.
Oh.
It's always, that's the
good no
only
matter
thing
what.
that comes on True TV anymore.
True.
They just
True.
run marathons of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah.
So know this, instead of watching Monday Night Raw, you can always go watch Impractical Jokers. And it will be funnier, it will be more entertaining, and it will just be a better all-around product. Monday Night Raw at this point is a garbage fire. It's terrible. You can't convince me otherwise. You can try to sell me on Riddle, but I'm not 100% sold on Riddle. I don't think he can carry the show. Randy Orton's starting to kind of develop a little bit of a porn star look. I don't know what's going on in his life at this point. You know, whatever. I'm done. I'm done with Monday Night Raw, and I'm continuing the Raw detox. Hopefully next week when you guys see me, I haven't relapsed, and I'll be like, 2 weeks sober.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we've had some TikTok problems, right? We got into a little TikTok trouble, apparently. So this last week, we have set TikTok wrestling on fire, man. We have had 50% of the world loves me and 50% of the world wants to see me die, basically, and tell me how stupid I am. And you know what? I'm perfectly okay with that. The one thing I'm not okay with, and this has happened on numerous occasions now, is people who come in and make a personal attack on me, which I have no problem with that. But when I come back and shut you down, you go report me to TikTok. They're soft. These people are soft. These wrestling marks are soft.
Yeah.
There's a group of these guys who come in, they want to be Billy Badass on the internet. They come in, they talk, and then when I come in and I lay my verbal smackdown on them, they don't know what to do.
Yeah, man.
They don't know what to do, so they report me to TikTok. I have been banned from commenting. I don't know for how long, but I know as soon as I'm back, I will be back in there raising hell.
Yes, sir.
That's what I do. Piss and vinegar. I'm ready to go. I am ready. I am backstage in the gorilla position waiting for my entrance song to be played so I can run out there and smack these idiots around in the comment section. Okay?
Damn.
You know what it is though? TikTok doesn't know what to do with me right now. I have set the wrestling TikTok world on fire because I don't sit and appease every little person who has a comment. I'm not here to make you feel better, right?
Yeah.
I say what I say what I feel. You like it? Cool. Like the video. You don't like it? Scroll me and move on.
True.
But I'm not going to change my opinion to fit a mass appeal. Yeah, I say some real stupid shit, but it's just my opinion. And as long as I have this microphone, I will talk and say whatever I want to. Not what you guys want me to. I will say what I want to. Okay? All right, so now that I've cut my promo, let's get into real news here.
Okay.
Apparently Netflix is putting together or has put together a Undertaker New Day television movie extravaganza, choose your own adventure.
I heard about this.
Interactive Netflix movie is what they're calling it. And it comes out on October 5th, right in time for Halloween, guys.
Yep.
This is cool. I'm all about this. I have no problem with this.
They're in the Undertaker's house.
Right, and it's a haunted house, and it's supposed to, it's okay. I have no problem with any of that. That's great. That's all fine. What I have a problem with is, guys, 100% WWE is not marketing towards adults anymore. This is all for kids, right? This is some shit I'll watch with my kids. I'll do this with my kids. We'll go through this movie. We'll help the New Day escape Undertaker's mansion, and we'll realize what clowns the New Day are.
Yeah.
Right? We'll understand that Big E will never be taken seriously.
True.
There's no reason to take Big E seriously. You want me to believe the guy holding the Money in the Bank contract on Monday, or he's on SmackDown or Raw? I don't even remember at this point.
I think he's a Monday Night Raw, but I'm not 100% sure.
What's Corbin on? SmackDown. So he's SmackDown. Whatever. I don't know. I can't remember because he uninterests me at this point.
I didn't see him this week, so.
Yeah. And so just goofy. He comes off as goofy. I hope that Baron Corbin just slaps the dog shit out of Big E, takes that briefcase, and just runs as fast as he can, and Big E never gets the briefcase back. That's what I hope. Because at this point, I can't take you seriously. My WWE Universal Champion cannot be pulling pancakes out of his underwear.
And them dick pancakes.
I just can't. It's great. It makes the little kids laugh. It makes the immature adults laugh. They love it. They're throwing pancakes over here, throwing pancakes over here. That's great. But does Brock Lesnar throw pancakes?
No, Brock Lesnar would grab that pancake, slap it out of his hand, and make him eat it.
What do you think Brock Lesnar would do if Vince McMahon came to him and said, we're going to put pancakes in your pants and you're going to go out there and throw pancakes around? Brock Lesnar would slap the shit out of Vince McMahon. What do you think Roman Reigns would do? Roman Reigns is not throwing pancakes. These guys don't need to throw. These guys don't need to be a joke to get over. And I'm all good with Big E. If this is where Big E is comfortable, then more power to you, Big E. You be the kids champion. You be the Nickelodeon WWE champion. You could be at the Teen Nick Awards and stuff like that. That'll be your job. And you let the grown men like Brock Lesnar, like Edge, like Roman Reigns, let the grown men play in the big boy title picture, and you could carry around your briefcase until they give you probably a 2-month run with the title before they decide that if you're not pulling pancakes, because I'm pretty sure you can't fit the title inside your pants.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to like surprise people and pull the title out of your pants. It's not going to happen, okay?
His previous character, though, wasn't he based on Urkel? It was kind of a nerdy guy.
No.
I heard him talking about it with Renee on her podcast.
I don't remember that. I've never seen him as a nerd. He started off as kind of a power lifter, and at one point he was Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard.
I don't know. He was talking about...
I don't remember him ever being a nerd.
There's one character. I don't know what it is.
Unless that was like pre-WWE, which, I didn't follow any Big E. I don't even know what he did pre-WWE, but yeah, as far as I'm concerned right now, dude, as long as Big E is making Netflix movies, interactive Netflix movies with the New Day, they got to separate him from the New Day. And I love the New Day. They're fun. They are fun to watch, but they're fun to watch like it's fun to see a clown make balloon animals.
I would say that's a good way to put them.
That
like
is the same thing.
WWE
I'm not
clowns.
buying tickets, but if the clown's at the birthday party, I'm all fucking attentioned on it, right? I'm paying. How did he just make a bicycle out of balloons? I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's not. The clown's not WWE championship material. I can tell you that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So now I gotta talk about this for a second, because this kind of plays into the whole thing that's been going on. So the constant in the comment section for me has been, this guy knows nothing about wrestling. Okay.
Yeah.
And I let it go for a little bit because I'm just getting back into this. Okay. So I've watched constantly now for about 2 months. That's Raw. That's SmackDown. That's AEW. For the last 2 months, I've been full attention, paying attention, and really digging into what's going on. Now, I am on Raw Detox. I've made that known, so I won't be paying attention there, okay? For the last 2 years, I have watched wrestling on and off, okay?
Yeah.
I have tuned in on a Monday every so often. I've tuned in for a SmackDown. I watched plenty of pay-per-views. I saw numerous clips of AEW, never really watched AEW. I'm brand new to the AEW scene, will admit that, right? For the last 10 years, I have read the dirt sheets. I have read all of the online rumors, news. I have dug into the places that I don't like to go anymore. I don't like to read the dirt sheets anymore because they make wrestling no fun, but I have done that. I have been there, done that. I have been the smark. I have thought I knew more than everybody, okay? Here we go. I've been to 5 WrestleManias, okay, guys? 5 WrestleManias, okay? Some people have referred to me at this point as the Mr. WrestleMania of the podcasting world. There are people that is running around in certain circles right now. Yeah. I am the Mr. WrestleMania of podcasting, okay? Now, I've been to numerous Raws and SmackDowns. Too many to count at this point. Too many to count. I've been to so many Raws and SmackDowns. I have 2 pay-per-view chairs downstairs in my downstairs office, okay? I have caught John Cena's sweaty ass shirt before.
That's true.
I have this terrible purple Barney ass shirt that I caught in Austin, Texas, okay? I've even been to a few indie events, guys.
What you forgot to mention,
I've been to the SWE, and I have tickets to River City Wrestling featuring Colt Cabana on September 9th. So at this point, you guys can pretty much cut it with the me not knowing shit and just refer to me as the savant of professional wrestling on TikTok. That is how they can refer to me now.
Damn.
I won't take the disrespect anymore. I'm done with it.
Damn.
Were you going to say something in the middle of that?
Yeah. I was going to talk about your beer can that you had from Stone Cold.
That you tried to throw away.
I did try to throw it
That's
away.
a weird thing to display,
Several
though.
times.
That has been a hard thing to display.
times.
I have a Keystone Light that I caught in Atlanta the Monday night after WrestleMania. I believe it was Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a post-WrestleMania show. Stone Cold drank a beer, crushed it, threw it into the crowd. I caught a Keystone Light can, and to me, that's a Keystone Light can that Stone Cold drank. To every other person who sees it, it is a
Well, you don't drink.
I don't drink.
See a random beer can, and I'm like, that's going in the trash.
But to everybody else, that's just a crushed up Keystone Light can. Yeah, so I get you on that. But yes, I mean, I'm a savant at this point, guys. You gotta back off. I know what I'm doing. Just because I don't watch your stupid Japanese wrestling and don't know who every Japanese wrestler is, I still get to do a podcast. I do an American wrestling podcast. If we want to call it that, fucking call it that. Okay, I'm fine.
Yepper.
But I know my wrestling. Okay. Which leads me to NXT.
All right.
So
Yes.
we sat down. We've committed to this wrestling.
We did.
We've committed our podcasting time to this wrestling thing. It's the most fun. I've enjoyed it. Let's do it. Let's roll with it. So that meant we had to watch NXT this week.
Yeah.
Now, it's been probably a couple years since I've watched NXT. The NXT that I knew and loved was the Adam Cole NXT, the Asuka NXT. Those are the memories I have of NXT. I'm using the new branding here because I'm hopeful of what is to come next week. Because I know I'm coming in on the tail end and I'm starting before the rebrand.
Yes.
But my opinion of NXT so far, and I'm not going to overreact, I'm not going to overjudge because this is one. Can't judge on one episode. It's not fair. I'll just give initial reactions, okay? My first take on this, it felt more like a Bravo reality television show than it felt like NXT wrestling to me. I felt there was points in time where I felt like I was watching The Real Housewives or Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. I didn't feel like I was watching wrestling. I don't understand the bachelor parties, the bachelorette parties, and like I said, maybe I'll give it more time. Maybe there's something to that. But they were shot extremely poorly, and the jokes were so hokey. I am interested in what comes from this rebrand. I'm going to give NXT another chance. I'll give it a couple months before I add it to the detox.
All right.
Okay? Now, I have some concerns. The rumor is that the new NXT is being spearheaded by Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard. And Jesus Christ, what could go wrong there?
Tell me.
We've got frickin' fucking Frack running the show. We've got Tweedledee and Tweedledipshit running the show. We have two guys out of touch with what pro wrestling should be, taking over from what I believe was Triple H's kind of baby at one point. And this is an overreaction to NXT losing to AEW on the Wednesday night, even though it wasn't a fair comparison, because AEW is putting out their A roster every night, and NXT, no matter what you say about it, it's still developmental.
Yeah.
And guys like Adam Cole and Asuka and these people, they were building it. Johnny G, whatever the last name is, I can't say it.
Okay.
These guys built something special, and it looks like Vince is going to come down and just fucking tear it all apart, burn it to the ground, rebrand it with this fucking paint splatter shit that they're throwing all over the wall. I'll give it a chance. But the days of the Adam Cole NXT appear to be gone, right? Yeah. It appears what this is now, we'll call this the NXT factory of wrestling. Vince McMahon thinks that he can just ice out the indies. He can get rid of all indie wrestlers, and what he's going to do is he's going to create a factory where he manufactures his next superstars. And the problem is, Vince, that's not what you're good at.
Yeah.
You know,
It
that's
comes
not
off
what you
fake every time you try to do that.
They're just cookie cutters. They all the same. You either want these real big monsters or you got a couple young guys. But the indie guys, they pick up steam for a reason because they feel real.
Yeah.
They're raw. They're not polished. They don't have that WWE shine. Mm-hmm. I heard Moxley talking in an interview where he was talking about if Vince McMahon was in charge of AEW at this point, he would be pissed off at every match because it goes against everything WWE wants. They're moving too fast. John, you're moving too fast. You're going too fast. You got to slow it down.
Why does he want
We
to
got to hit these
slow
big
it down?
spots. We got to do it like this. Because Vince McMahon has a formula, and it's worked, and it's fueled the machine for a long time. But the problem is, this AEW shit is bubbling up. Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, you got Omega, you got Cody Rhodes, you got CM Punk, you got all these guys. And though I don't think AEW is ever going to take over WWE, because I don't even think you want your machine to get that big. I think that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
I think Tony Khan just wants to be known as the premier wrestling company. He doesn't care if he makes more money. He doesn't care if he's on bigger TV networks. I think he's happy on TNT.
Yeah.
He's a kid playing in his sandbox, and he's got all of his favorite wrestling toys.
True.
And he's letting them go out there and put on a show. And up to this point, I have enjoyed it. So I will give the benefit of the doubt to NXT. We'll go through the rebrand these next couple weeks. We'll take a journey together, guys, and we'll see if NXT, if it ends up surprising me and it becomes something really good. I'll eat my fucking words. But I think a lot of people would agree with me when Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard are behind the fucking steering wheel. You're not hoping for much.
Yeah.
Did notice, me and you both noticed that NXT does the picture-in-picture thing. Thought that was interesting.
I did think that was interesting.
Why aren't we doing that on Raw and SmackDown?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I noticed one other thing, though, is that there's a lot of small guys on NXT. And I heard a lot of the WWE fans were like, oh, the midget wrestlers on AEW.
The consensus seems to be that AEW is a bunch of midgets, which I thought was funny. The guy from America Top Team brought that up on the last AEW Dynamite, which we'll get to in a minute. But yeah, it's a lot of small guys on NXT. So I don't know. Maybe they're, Samoa Joe, there wasn't on that episode. So I take everything with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. Samoa Joe can change things around, but
I didn't hate it. That's for sure. I didn't hate it.
I was bored. I was bored through a lot of it. I was bored and confused. All right, let's get into AEW Dynamite.
All right.
This is the big show, right? This is what we've been. I'm go on record. You guys can keep fucking yelling at me, but I'm a self-proclaimed fanboy.
You can't make fun of you for being a fanboy if you're saying I am a fanboy.
I'm Eminem in this thing. I'm coming out and saying I'm the fanboy. You can't say nothing to me. So I can talk shit about the WWE fanboys if I call myself an AEW fanboy. Mm-hmm. I am at this point. I admitted on Monday that everything's not perfect. It's not all roses like I initially thought. There are problems, but I still enjoy it. I enjoy it more than I enjoy, of course, Monday Night Raw. And at this point, I slightly put it ahead of SmackDown in my eyes. Yeah. I could see why people are fans of SmackDown.
Yeah.
I won't even argue that with you.
For sure.
Okay, so let's kind of go through here. Opening matchup of AEW Dynamite, we get Dustin Rhodes versus Malachi Black.
Yeah.
All I'm going to say about this is Dustin Rhodes can still fucking go.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That old ass grown man can still go.
On.
Yeah, still got a good look. He still moves well. Some old guys just have it, and some old guys just need to hang it up. And he's one of the old guys that still has it and can still go. And Malachi Black is fun to watch.
Yeah.
What the fuck was WWE doing with that character? How did you misuse?
I have no
how
idea.
did you misuse that so bad?
His entrance, bro.
His entrance is great.
Epic.
His presence is great. His kind of brutal, grunty, kicky, punchy UFC style is enjoyable.
Yeah.
And look, he's not clamoring to be the main event. So why couldn't WWE find just a half decent storyline to put this guy in and use him? I almost feel like the WWE is afraid to do anything that resembles The Undertaker.
Yeah.
They did it like with Bray Wyatt and Malachi Black. It's like they're afraid of it. Yet on NXT, you got that crazy the ring character running around. You got the ring girl. That was creepy as shit.
And then there was another dude who was kind of like in that same sort of whatever.
Okay, so obviously the whole Malachi thing is leading to Cody's return at AEW Grand Slam. I need somebody to explain to me because I'm not familiar with how AEW works. Okay?
Yeah.
It looks like there's these special events in between pay-per-views. Are these mini pay-per-views? Is that what we're getting here? Are these like supposed to be, are these the super SmackDowns of AEW?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, right? Because I know AEW pay-per-views are spread farther out. So someone help me out. Are these like this AEW Grand Slam? Is this like a mini pay-per-view that I should be excited for? Because we're building towards a Cody. They announced Cody versus Malachi Black, which means Cody's coming back.
Yeah.
And we're ready there.
Yeah.
All right. Humble Punk. I got to talk about Humble Punk. He's officially boring. He bores me now. Everything I was so excited for about CM Punk, this doesn't feel like CM Punk anymore. Is this a work? Are they working us here? Are they trying to get me to feel this way? Are they trying to get me discouraged about Punk and then he's going to fucking turn and he's going to go back to cocky asshole Punk? Because at this point, Daniel Bryan is more cocky and more asshole than CM Punk. And I would have seen this the other way around. I would have seen Daniel Bryan being the humble one coming in and going, I'm going to help the young talent. I'm going to be there. I'm excited. Daniel Bryan's out here talking about, I'm going to kick his fucking face in. I'm going to kick his fucking face in. I'm going to fuck you up at some point. And CM Punk is just like a kid at a candy store. He's just so happy to be there.
Yeah.
That was cool week 1. That was cool week 2. Now we're coming out of the pay-per-view, dude. I'm not interested in you asking the crowd who you should fight next. I want you to come out, call your shot, and start rocking people's world here. Now, if it looks like they possibly opened a sliver of a door that they could team him with what's the kid's name? Dante Martin.
Okay.
That kid's exciting. I like Dante Martin. The kid is exciting. Flips around. He's got a good look. He's primed to a young guy primed to kind of come through the ranks and get to his spot. CM Punk could put a lot of eyes on him.
Yeah.
If they team them up to go against Taz's crew, the For the Win, I think is what they're FTW, FTR, something like that.
I don't know.
If they team them up, CM Punk and this kid, kind of like I thought they were going to do with Darby Allin. I thought they'd team CM Punk and Darby Allin, but it looks like they've moved on. And we'll talk about that in a minute because that's some weird shit.
All right.
But if we get Punk to get eyes on Martin, am I saying his name right? Is it? I have it written down here. Dante Martin. Yes. So if we get Punk to get eyes on Dante Martin, cool. Let's use him for that until Punk gets back in shape. If not, calling out a group of people and then having another guy fight those people on the episode felt really weird. One thing I will say about this episode of AEW, it was a messy show overall. When you come out of a pay-per-view where you have pretty much the whole wrestling world's attention, okay? And you've got CM Punk, you've got Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson. That's going to be a habit I have to break.
I agree.
You got Adam Cole. You have Kenny Omega. And none of those guys wrestle on that episode. This felt like a lot of let's come out and talk, which leads me to MJF. There is not another heel in wrestling that is even a step below him. Everybody else is 2 steps below MJF. He is the only true, real, old school heel in wrestling right now. The way he walks that line and even crosses that line of like what most people think is okay to say, I love it. That's what I want from my heel. That's what I need from my heel. I need my heels to cross that line so that people don't just dislike him. They fucking despise MJF. When he started going after the old lady in the crowd, Linda, was it Linda Pillman or whatever, or it was Aunt Linda, whatever her name is. When he went after her, after CM Punk came out there and was Mr. like, oh, I love you, right?
Good job, Linda. Thanks.
Yeah, then MJF just comes out and just completely shits on her.
Yeah.
That's what I want from my heels.
I didn't know who Linda was. I had to Google it.
As of right now, MJF has moved. He's jumped my list. He is my favorite professional wrestler. Woo! It's Seth Rollins, MJF, and Kenny Omega probably at this point are the 3 that I'm
Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy is like my fun character to watch. I understand he's just kind of a gimmick. He's like a guilty pleasure.
All right.
Orange Cassidy is my guilty pleasure of wrestling.
Yeah.
But when it comes to just like straight grit and straight like fucking just old school wrestling, if you don't like MJF, there's something wrong with you. And if you think he went too far, he did his job.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
He has done his job.
Yep.
Update on my Ruby Soho. I'm warming up to her. She did pretty good on the mic. I thought she was she's way better, a way better product and character than she was in the WWE universe.
I agree.
I'm still not ready to make my prediction and give a stamp of approval to her. Throwing her in with Britt Baker is interesting because Britt Baker is one of those heels that the crowd still love.
Yeah.
So that's a tough thing to throw in because Ruby Soho is going to have to win over the crowd, not just for herself personally, but she's going to have to turn them on Britt Baker at some point. And it doesn't look like Britt Baker's in any hurry to turn full on heel and just shit on the crowd. She's walking that weird line that Becky Lynch is trying to do, but Britt Baker isn't being goofy about it.
Yeah, she's sassy, so it comes out more genuine, and she calls herself, what is it, the bitch or
the baddest bitch?
The baddest bitch in wrestling.
Yeah. So we got some interesting. They kind of slid this in. Sting and Darby Allin are going to be fighting against Tully Blanchard and I forgot who his partner was. I think it's Sean Spears.
Who?
Sean Spears. He's the guy who's got the little mohawk. Okay. He wrestled last night. Get away from the Pinnacle shit. Get away from them wrestling last night. That was boring. Didn't care for that at all. The Dark Order is falling apart. Great. Let's speed that up. My question to you and to TikTok and to YouTube and to everybody who listens to the podcast, is Sting still a wrestling draw? Are we still excited to see Sting wrestle?
I don't.
Wrestle. Not just mix it up.
See him.
Not just mix it up. It's okay when he gets in and he mixes it up a little bit with Darby Allin. But are we still excited to see him when he gets in the ring? I'm not. There's a certain age guys get to, and I said certain guys can still go and certain guys look old. Sting looks old, but he's old. That's okay. Tully Blanchard is 67 years old.
What?
I will say I am fucking impressed.
Crazy.
If he goes out there and proves me wrong and puts on a hell of a match, awesome, dude.
Yeah.
If he goes out there and looks like a 67-year-old man in the ring, all right, AEW starting to fall into the Oldberg thing here, right? Like, what is it? I get that these old guys have nostalgia and they're great acts, but they make great managers.
Yeah.
They get involved well. They can be dirty and underhanded and even get in and mix it up and get a cheap pop. But I don't want to see Sting and Tully Blanchard. Now, we're hiding them in a tag team match. I get it. But if this thing turns into a singles match of Sting and Tully Blanchard, Jesus Christ. I just can't do these.
What if it's slow, like, what is it, Paul Wright? Is that his name?
The Big Show?
The Big Show.
What do you mean if it's slow?
His seemed a little slow to me when he fought.
Yeah, it was a squash match. I don't know. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't watch these two geriatric ass motherfuckers in the ring, Sting and Tully Blanchard, pretending to beat the shit out of each other. Like someone needs to take Grandpa back to the home.
Oh, you're going to get fucked up for that.
Okay, so Omega and Bryan kind of, they were the semi-closeout of the show, the co-main, more talking, right? This whole show was just people coming out and fucking talking. That's what it was, right?
Yeah.
Need more wrestling, AEW. They're exactly what you expect. They're going to put on a show. They're great. No, you can't. I mean, Kenny's great. Daniel's great. Brian Danielson's great. Adam Cole's great when he grabs a microphone. He showed what he's going to be. I think he's more exciting than both of them on a microphone. I haven't seen enough of Kenny Omega. I hear that he's phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, they did what you expect them to do. Nothing not exciting. It was exciting, but nothing surprising. That's what I expect from those two guys. They can carry a main event by themselves, right?
Yes.
Which then we go from that to we finish the show with the hometown boy, Jon Moxley, right? Cincinnati. Cincinnati's own Jon Moxley. And we feature Jon Moxley versus Suzuki. Is that his name?
I believe so.
Suzuki, which is a good match. Great wrestling match. Problem is 90% of casual wrestling fans have no fucking clue who he is.
True.
We just know that that's a guy that Jon Moxley wants to fight. Jon Moxley has this fetish for fighting the Japanese guys. More power to him. It seems fun, but we closed out the show after All Out pay-per-view, where we have the entire wrestling world's attention with Jon Moxley and Suzuki in a match that I felt was not overwhelmingly great. It wasn't bad. It was fun. But don't you think that Adam Cole in that main event, Bryan Danielson in that main event, actually wrestling on the night you have everybody's attention, that makes more sense.
100%. Yes.
The Moxley match was fine. Moxley goes over. That's fine. You called it. I didn't. I didn't understand why Moxley. I don't understand why he's bringing all these guys over here and just abusing them. He's like beating up on all these old men, all these old Japanese men. But what I didn't love was that the last 8 to 10 minutes of the episode was Moxley running around the crowd trying to get that moment of people banging on him and hanging on him. But he really just kind of came off as like an old guy with Alzheimer's. Like he didn't know what section he was supposed to be in or where he was supposed to go. He was wandering around the arena. And I'm seeing a trend with AEW, and that is anytime we go to somebody's hometown, they
feature that person.
And they're not gonna lose, and we're gonna fucking parade them around. And that's a bad trend to start. Because one thing you don't want to be in wrestling is predictable. And if when we go to Pittsburgh, Britt Baker's going to win. And when we go to Cincinnati, Jon Moxley's going to win. And when we go to Chicago, CM Punk's going to win.
Yeah.
I guess when we go to Seattle, Daniel Bryanson will be fucking invincible. I don't know where Kenny Omega's from.
Canada.
But whenever we go there, he is Canadian. I believe you're right. Good call there.
I knew that one.
Right?
Yep.
So when we go to Canada, Kenny Omega's going to win. I don't like the idea of Jon Moxley running around trying to get that go-home picture. He finally got it at the end where he leaned back into the crowd. They're all hitting him and shit. Whatever, right? So here we go, guys. Here we go, WWE fans. I shit on AEW this week. Yeah. Okay? I'm calling that was a messy show. That was a bad use of a great opportunity. When all eyes were on AEW, you put together a shit show, especially going into Super SmackDown this week, right? Oh. Brock's going to be back. You had every opportunity. Why can't CM Punk wrestle this week?
I don't know. Maybe
Why can't Bryan Danielson
he's injured?
Why can't Bryan Danielson wrestle this week? Why can't Adam Cole wrestle this week?
Yeah.
Why couldn't one of those guys get in the ring and wrestle? One of these big fucking names you got. Or are we just going to do the Brock Lesnar with these guys and only let them wrestle on name shows? Super SmackDown.
I hope not. I don't like that at all.
Grand Slam. Whatever. Fun, but yeah. And I still a fanboy, still enjoyed it. Just too much talking. Let's see where they go from there.
All right.
Let's get into this. I just want to run through this quickly. AEW did some promotion for their video games going into All Out. I kind of missed it, so I'm going to talk about it now. They talked about their GM game, which I have played and is complete garbage, and they keep trying to hype it up like it's exciting. It's not. It's boring.
Okay.
It's not a real GM.
Is it a mobile game?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a GM experience, but it was a mess. It was... and they're adding all this stuff, and we're adding CM Punk, and that's great, but it's not for me. What we did get, though, was a look at the AEW arcade simulation style game they're putting together, and we got to see Jungle Boy this time, who I have featured above me. Yes. Can't play the video because we keep getting content strikes for posting videos, so all we can do is show you guys a picture.
I don't know. That shirt might be considered, sexual content.
We did get a strike for Charlotte and Nia Jax for sexual content.
Yeah.
But... So this is the picture of Jungle Boy, and the game's looking good. It's more cartoony than the WWE series, which I'm completely okay with because wrestling tends to come off a little bit as a cartoon anyway, right? It's a surreal thing. And it looks like the game is going to follow more of the arcade / simulation, which is I'm all about too, because there is no way to really simulate a wrestling match.
True.
You know, a scripted thing is hard to do. So it's kind of fun when it's arcadey and a button mashy and things like that. If they make it like WWE No Mercy, which is what they've claimed, Kenny Omega has claimed they're going to do that, and Ukes has claimed they're going to do that.
Okay.
If they do that, the wrestling video game world will go fucking crazy for it. If this is more of just 2021 wrestling games, it'll come and go and probably won't get talked about.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the rumor mill has been set on fire. Apparently, it was said that Kevin Owens had signed a 5-year extension and that he was under WWE for the next couple years. Now it's coming out that Kevin Owens will be a free agent in January of 2021. Now, he's tweeted a few things that have fueled the fire.
2022.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Did I say 2021?
You said 2021.
Okay, so Kevin Owens will be a free agent in January of 2022, and he has tweeted a couple things that have added fuel to the fire. We know he's friends with the Young Bucks. This just seems to be a trend here, right? WWE is cutting the indie guys out of the company. That's what's happening here. Let's not get it twisted. That's what's happening. Whether they're good, whether they're bad, the WWE is trimming out the non-homegrown WWE guys. Kevin Owens will be next to go, and he will go to AEW, and he will probably do better or be able to showcase his talents. Kevin Owens has been one of my favorite wrestlers for a long, long time. I loved when he came in and he was beating up on John Cena. The shit he did with Chris Jericho was some of the best comedic wrestling I have seen in the last 20 years. That's my opinion. Take it for whatever it is. But
I'm loving the whole...
This just seems to be the trend, and I know that you get the WWE fans going, well, AEW's just taking all the WWE trash. That's not what it is. AEW's taking all the indie guys. All the indie guys who don't like the WWE style, they're all going to AEW.
Yeah.
Whether that's a good thing, whether that's a bad thing, you can debate that all day. But this is happening. There's definitely an influx of talent leaving WWE and running to AEW because the rumor seems to be that it's more fun and it's an easier place to work, right? More time off. Tony Khan seems to be real easygoing. The wrestlers get to write their own stories, call their own spots. Mick Foley even came out and said, and I have a quote here that Mick Foley says, "The problem is that WWE is no longer the place for talent to aspire to. Part of it is because what AEW doing is a great job of attracting great talent, proven talent, and building younger talent, creating storylines. But part of it is a problem of your own making. I think that younger talent sees the way that developmental characters are just cut and left by the wayside, or in the case of Karrion Kross, greatly watered down or even made a joke of when they get taken to the main roster."
Yeah.
This is a serious problem WWE has. They build up a monster in NXT and Karrion Kross, and then you squash him his first night on the main roster, right?
Yeah.
Same thing we say about Bianca Belair. You build Bianca Belair up so that you can just have... Look, I'm going to say this because Becky Lynch, I don't hate her, okay? But gotta quit comparing her to Stone Cold. She's not the new Stone Cold. She's more like the new John Cena. Okay?
Yeah.
She's being force-fed down our throats. She comes back when the company's in trouble, and she takes the belt off of whoever has the belt, squashes them, puts an end to their run, and she's force-fed down our throats, and we're supposed to either cheer her, boo her, depending on what the WWE wants us to do that week. That's not Stone Cold. Stone Cold went out and fucking electrified crowds, right? Becky Lynch is being shoved down our throats more in the sense that John Cena was. So people will hate that comparison. I don't really care. I don't really care for Becky Lynch. She's goofy. She's not what she's being portrayed to be, and not the man stuff was good, but she never grew above that. She didn't evolve. She didn't evolve out of that character.
Yeah.
She's going to ride that grain, and the whole weird telling Bianca Belair, no, I don't like it. It's weird.
It's
either step up and fight and cheat.
Yeah.
Or stay as the face and let Bianca turn heel. I've said that over and over. But I'm excited. Look, I'm okay if WWE wants to homegrown and they want to put all their cards on building their own superstars. Let's roll those dice, WWE. I'm with you. Let's roll those dice and let's see what happens. But the problem is 5 years from now, when WWE doesn't have anybody to main event WrestleManias, and AEW has these indie guys that have, I can shit on the fact that like guys go to Cincinnati like Moxley and the crowd loves them. The WWE doesn't have that.
Yeah.
You don't ever go somewhere and the hometown crowd loves whoever that is, especially not like Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
Chicago always loved Punk.
Chicago.
And, but as far as that goes, Texas loves Stone Cold, but I don't think like Miami wasn't just
Everybody
super
loves
over
Stone Cold.
for The Rock. Yeah, I mean, everybody loves Stone Cold. That's exactly right. But, it's interesting. We'll see. We'll see how this NXT thing plays out. I'm going to see if what this AEW Grand Slam's all about. And I am excited to see what happens at WWE Super SmackDown. We will talk more about that on the Monday edition of the Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast. But that has been another episode of the Nerdy D Wrestling Podcast. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, TikTok, or your favorite podcast network. Each and every Monday and Thursday, I give you all my hot takes on the world of wrestling. As always, I am Nerdy D. That is Level Up Lauren, and this is Good Night.